Hey, what is up, guys? And before the video starts, there's like a couple things I wanted to address before the actual video starts. Funny enough, like I'm about to yap here, and then even in the video itself is gonna be like a lot of yapping. But originally, I wanted this to be like the entirety of the first game, but because of how long the editing process took, and it's already been a month since I started this project, I made a decision to cut this up in parts just so it'll be easier for me to edit, and then while I'm working on the next part, I can just, fix any mistakes I have or, work on a different project or work on the next game. So that way I don't like fatigue myself just trying to get this out. Because honestly, I completely underestimated the amount of time that's needed into this kind of project. And it's a learning curve for me. I have fun doing this, but just the amount of time just trying to balance this with work and just like me being tired was just it took a lot longer than I really thought, and I did not want it to take this long. I wanted this to come out within like 2 weeks, but it's been like an entire month. So I'm just gonna go up into a certain chapter, then just cut it off there. Then if I got something to say at the end of the video, I'll just address it there. Then just probably this might be like a 2 to 3 parter, depending on how long each chapter goes. Because certain chapters in this game, like I think it was the fourth chapter, bro, it went on for so long. It took me a week just to cover the entirety of it. Even if I cut out parts where it didn't matter, where I'm like walking, or if it's just like a repeated gun combat section. It's just like, all right, I don't need to like talk about every time I die. Just cut until I make progress. But even then, it took the longest time. So just for the sake of it being easier and just at least I can get this out, just cut it in parts. Then maybe when each game is done, I'll do like a complete version just so I can do what I originally wanted to do at first. And again, if I have something to say, I'll probably do one last like post commentary thing, but more than likely not. But you never know. I might have to like maybe ask a question or address another thing that might affect the series. But yeah, thanks for listening and enjoy the video. I love playing Uncharted 3. It put me on the series, the greatest thing that happened to my channel. I love this game. So much so, I like to challenge myself by playing Brutal mode. I still hope to complete the no Brutal Death run one day, but that's for a different time. As I keep playing, I always thought to myself, if this is a pain to play, are the others too? And that's what we're here to find out. Welcome to a new project I'm starting that'll probably make me hate playing Uncharted by the time I'm done. I've always liked watching videos where people do challenges on their favorite games. I've always wanted to do it too, but I didn't know what to do aside from the typical, can you beat the game without said item or without some course of action? Until I figured that one out, I did always wonder which Uncharted game is the hardest to play on Brutal mode. I was working on another video pertaining to the kill count, but the footage was lost on my old hard drive, so until I get that footage back or record a new one, which I really don't want to do, I'll start with this one first, which is honestly the best case scenario, and I'll explain that in a bit. If you want to skip all I'm about to say, and want to just get on with the video, the timestamp is right here so you don't have to hear me yap for a couple minutes, because there's a lot that I'll go over, including something I want to do in the future. I made a tier list to place each chapter on said tier here, and this is actually the first time I've ever recorded on PC. I know it isn't a big deal, but I'm a console guy, so but anywho, starting at the bottom tier is not even worth mentioning. These are the chapters that have like no combat sections at all. It's basically a walk and talk chapter from point A to point B. Above that is no challenge at all. These are for chapters that has enemies but pose no threat at all, like say melee only. Above that, number 4 is good but cautious. These are the chapters that can be beat without dying, but can still die if played too reckless. Number 3 is a bit of a challenge. These are chapters where you have to take your time and place your shots. Rushing in, running, and gunning is not the best choice, leaving a bit of a struggle during combat sections. Above that, number 2 is very annoying and time consuming. These are the frustrating chapters where you spend a good chunk of time dying to the same enemies and have to change your tactics in order to pass the chapter. Dealing with multiple enemies, no cover, and low ammo count. These are the ones that almost brings you to your boiling point, but just barely makes it out of, number 1, brutal bullshit. The name itself is self-explanatory. The chapters where the game is unfair and shows you that this game is not meant to have brutal mode. The ones that have you screaming in rage, wanting you to throw your controller to the TV or even punch it. And believe me, I almost did. If you played Uncharted on brutal, you probably already have an idea of which chapters go where, but who knows, maybe some might surprise you. I should also point out that I'm only covering the first 3 games since they're the only ones with brutal mode. But if I'm convinced, I'll add the other games as well with their respective higher difficulties. But for now, Uncharted 1 to 3 will be my main focus. As to why this is the best case scenario for me, it's because I wanted to play these chapters as if I'm playing them for the first time. I know there are different methods to clear each chapter, but not everyone's going to know how to do that. Uncharted 3 is really the only game that I played the most out of, so I know the game like the back of my hand. So I opted not to play any Uncharted game for nearly a full year, just to not have any knowledge of gun locations, enemy spawns, and where to take cover. Just about everything there is about Uncharted. You could say, if you only know Uncharted 3 so well, why not just play that one since it's the third entry? I thought about that too, but I wanted to be dedicated to Uncharted to where, when I start this, after every game I beat, I'll immediately move on to the next game. After I make a script, instead of waiting a couple months to work on the next game, I want to do this back to back to back and not get sidetracked or venture off to a different project till I at least have the footage ready. Writing this is probably a lot easier than playing on Brutal because at least I know what to say after rewatching the gameplay, but this will probably take a while since I have to deal with work and all. So hopefully I can get this done in like a week or so. One last thing I want to mention is that I wanted to count how many times I died, but I didn't count as I played. So if I don't reveal it in this video, I'll be sure to let you guys know when I cover Uncharted 2. There is one thing I do want to talk about. It won't really pertain to this video, but it will in like a future thing. So hopefully I can get it sorted out. If anyone can help me out, I would be forever grateful. But when it comes to trying to do these Uncharted things, I want to include all the games, including Golden Abyss. I got the Vita, I got the game. The only problem is I don't know how to record it. So I know there's different ways you can, if you had that PlayStation TV thing, but that one was discontinued and it's mad expensive trying to buy it now. Apparently it used to be 50 bucks back then, which I should have brought, but I didn't think I needed it because why would I need it? I didn't even have the Vita until like 3 years ago. Then there's also trying to jailbreak it, which I'm not really a big fan of doing for my devices, but if I have to, I'll do it. But if there's a simple way or a easier way, or if there's a good website I can actually sell them for a lower price than 200, please let me know, because when it comes to either the kill count or difficulties or just certain things in the game, I do want to include it in just compilations. When I did that, every time Drake lets his friends die in the game, I want to include Golden Abyss, but don't have the footage, because I definitely want to update it, because there were some things I did miss in certain games. So when I do re-record, I want to include just everything. So hopefully I'm able to figure it out by the time I, get the chance to record. I do have to pick the right time to really work on this, because back when I was working on the other projects, I was making progress. I had the footage, I was writing the scripts for the chapters, and I was halfway through the game, but then I had to do doubles that weekend, and I'm not gonna lie, it completely killed my motivation, and then I just stopped working on it. Then I lost the footage, so it was damn, I could have at least got the first game done if I didn't stop, working on it, but But with that said, let's start this game to figure out which Uncharted game is the hardest on Brutal difficulty. We start chapter 1 on a boat fighting pirates on what you can say is a tutorial level. First enemies are easy to kill, just shoot them or the exploding barrels conveniently placed on the boat. Some of them you can't shoot, so they'll end up jumping off their boat to climb up yours. I take a couple out by meleeing, and as you can see, my aim isn't the best. And while I do blame me for being hella rusty, I also blame the game itself. Being the first game in the series, it obviously doesn't have the best gameplay compared to its later entries. But there are things the game does well over the other games, for which I do hope I get to talk about in a different video. More men climb onto the boat, and I took a risk by running towards them, and luckily I had good cover, otherwise I would have died. After many missed shots, Sully does pull up the clutch and gets the last boat off us, ending chapter 1 in about 3 to 4 minutes. Where I'd rank this chapter, you think I'll put it in the no challenge at all tier, but honestly, I'm gonna put it in the good but cautious tier, just because you can actually die here if you don't take cover and place your shots well. I got lucky finding the last 2 guys on the side of the boat, and I could have easily died. The best thing about this challenge, unlike the kill count, is I don't have to summarize the story and only cover the combat sections, so I can skip most of the gameplay, because this honestly took me about 7 hours to beat, and that's only because I kept dying and I gave up due to frustration. So with that said, chapter 2 has an easy, not even worth mentioning rank, so now we move on to... After swimming in the water, climbing up vines and rocks, we make ourselves on top of the U-boat. But before we go inside, I do want to look at this one shot here before climbing down. It's amazing that a game that came out almost 20 years ago looks so good than games that came out this year. I honestly miss the PS3 era. Moving on, we go inside the boat, get information, leave the boat, to get to the next combat section, Well, it's not really combat section. It's more of like you gotta run away from an enemy. You fight one person. Not gonna lie, I had trouble here running away from Roman's men. I kept getting shot the moment I jumped down, and they wasted no time shooting me. I never died here this many times before, but I managed to finally get around the corner to fight the only person you're supposed to fight. I did mess up the brutal combo, but still survived to move on. After the cutscene, I went for a stealth kill, but then the other guy still saw me, putting me in a gunfight. And I thought it was good at first, but then they were getting closer, and I was afraid to peek out. And then I ended up dying. After that, I tried to be cheeky and get an easy headshot but missed, alerting him and the men in the back. Luckily, one of them dropped a grenade to clear them out so I can continue on. I picked up an AK and proceeded to check my corners because after playing Ready or Not, you never know. As I'm climbing up, somebody's waiting for me up top and he's really juking my shots. Whenever I make that video, one of the things this game does well are the enemies reacting to gunfire. I'm so convinced Uncharted 1 has the best AI due to how well they make it the mission to not get shot. And this whole game has moments like this. As I'm going down the steps, I almost get shot by the dude on the far left, for which I couldn't even see. But while I'm jumping over the pillars, I ended up dying. He came out of nowhere catching me off guard. Going back to the puzzle room, I'm reminded that the moment they peek out of cover, they shoot you instantly, so I died a couple times. After that, I take more guys out, and man, sometimes it's hard to see them with how dark it is. But look at this. This mofo is prone on the ground, prone in an Uncharted game. Like, that's crazy. Making a way out the front entrance, I had a little bit of trouble shooting the rest of the guys because of my position, and I hesitated to leave not knowing where the next dude is. I ended up dying, and then doing this again, I tried to get out the doorway, but look, Elena's fat ass would not move. And trust me, this won't be the only time this secures. After trying to actually punch her to get her out the way, she finally decides to move, and I'm able to take out the last two dudes but not without almost dying. After that, we end chapter 3 ranking it in a little bit of a challenge tier. Had lots of enemies but gave you good cover to fight almost all of them. And now we move on to chapter 4. Even though I haven't played in a while, some things are always embedded in my head, and this chapter's pain and suffering is one of them. After traveling through the jungle, we fight our first enemies of the chapter. I take the first two out and climb up the vine, and I really thought it was one guy, but apparently it was two getting me killed to do it again. I killed them the second time and moved on to the section I've always had issues with when playing on Brutal. I shoot the first guy and don't even bother moving till I need to, but it wasn't enough because I still got shot. I tried my luck again, and the more I played, the more I noticed that they take a lot of shots, and that would be an issue later in the game. I ended up running out of ammo, but luckily an enemy with the best possible weapon tried to push me, and I take him out grabbing his gun. I almost get killed by the dude on top, but I'm able to take cover just in the nick of time, so I shot the barrel and blind fired the next guy. But more guys spawned in, and I was practically out of ammo, with one punch me getting me killed. But at least I reached the next checkpoint. I am put in a bad spot, so I had to move the moment I take control. And the game gave me less enemies than when I first reached the checkpoint. I resupply my ammo and climb up, but while doing that, I hear shots being fired by the guys behind the gate, and it scared me. Normally these guys don't peek out and shoot until after I open up the gate, but that's only for this instance, not after you reset the checkpoint. My dumbass tried to shoot them mid-range with a shotgun, leading them to take cover, giving me a hard time to shoot them. Then I tried to push up and shoot them before they jumped down, and it was working at first until the dudes around the corner outplayed the shit out of me. Look at this. This is some multiplayer shit he just did there. Like, that's embarrassing on my part. I tried to get my get back, but he almost got me again with that insta-peek, but I got him this time. All that just to die again. After the next time, I get them again, but I see a weird glitch seeing him pop out of cover. I push up to throw a grenade, try to place my shots when I thought I had time to grab some ammo. I died, having to do this all over again. After multiple attempts, I was able to get clear the first phase and make my way back to the next one. I'm doing well, and I thought the last enemy was the one that got behind me, so when I try to melee him, I get shot in the back, making me do this again. And I was not trying to do this forever, so I locked the fuck in, cleared the first path, picked up an AK, and utilized my grenades to finally clear both sections. I was relieved because I had to have died here like 10 times or so. Moving on, once again I try to get an easy headshot, missed, putting myself in a bad position, getting me killed. I try again, these guys don't freaking play. At this point, just using a handgun ain't gonna cut it. They just keep catching me, but the handguns are the most accurate, but it's always about proper cover. After the fight, I gather more ammo to move on to the destroyed bridge. When I first played this, I had more trouble then, but now I keep my guard up. I took them out, blew up the truck, but look at this. They shot me the frame I tried to climb up, and I kept getting shot as I climbed up with no cover. I had to shoot them before they even got in position, and even so, they still had me on the brink of death. I got stuck in the water, but thank God there was no enemies left to shoot me. I finally made it to the wrecked plane, but I already knew I was still in hell. They all grouped up, threw a good grenade to take them out, but it led nowhere. I do it again, but the same thing happened. This time I throw the grenade, then jump down before they spot me. At least here, there's a chance they'll try to actually push up towards me, but only one guy did that. I'm waiting for the last one to shoot me because when Drake is running fast in combat, that's usually a sign that there's still an enemy present. He shot me in the back, but luckily I had a shotgun, so I downed him clearing the section. I get more ammo before climbing up because I know exactly what's about to happen next. After the cutscene, I slide down the rope, do what I normally do, shoot them before they jump all the way down. I miss shots, but they aren't going down no matter how many times I shoot them. I'm afraid to peek and the next guy pops out from around the corner, scaring me and dying. I try to take cover behind the wing of the plane, which I've never done before. It helped a little, giving me a clear sight of which way they're going to be, but I'm still exposed, leaving me to get shot multiple times. I stand my ground and kill most of them before they jump down, but I ended up running out of ammo, but good thing I still had grenades. But I missed my second one after taking out the first, but I did risk it and went for a melee. I make it to the last phase of this area, and honestly, I wasted too many shots. I try to drop them before they push too close to me. You know it's bad when your cover is destructible. Doing it again, I make sure they don't get past the first wall, and look at this beauty right here. 4 perfect headshots right here. I was feeling myself, I was feeling good, I had ammo, confidence. All I need to do is take out this one guy and all will be good. Nope. I'm sorry, how many times did I shoot him with the AK? Moving on to my favorite part. I pick off the first 2 guys, and the M79 guy missed his first shot. I took him out thinking I can do this, but then I get shot. After that, I start to lose momentum, then I start dying to this yellow shirt guy or the people behind him. It's hard to get an angle on them because of the breakable wall in front. I don't even know what even happened to my body here. But all I can say is I'm losing my patience. I just keep dying and dying due to my position. I try again, but this time I swap to my AK to save time, but that also didn't help. As I push up, I thought to myself, maybe I should use my grenades. I knew I would need the grenades like after this, so I decided not to, using my gun still. I activate the trap so I don't accidentally set it off later, but the rest of the guys are to my left and I try to use the barrel to kill them, but only got one of them, only to be killed by those same people. I was pissed when this happened. I was right there for it to end like that. I take them down again and make sure to kill them before climbing up, and I finally make it to the next part with the grenade launcher. I want to say I did this flawlessly, but I'll just be lying. Just watch this. If this was Uncharted 3 or 4, I would have easily killed them, but nope, that damn animation gave them an opening shooting me in the back. One thing I hate about this part is the fact there's so many enemies. They just keep coming out of the woods and I don't have enough explosions to take them all out. Especially the fact that some of them point blank don't die from the launcher. I start to panic, miss my shots just to get killed again. I move up with one last M79 shot, finally ending this hellhole. While getting ammo, I almost got killed by a trap, so thank God I didn't slip up. After getting my ammo, I finally beat what felt like an eternity. It took forever, but after all that, I'll rank it in the very annoying and time-consuming tier. I think this chapter is the longest chapter throughout the entire game, and I don't know why. And it's at the beginning of the game too. Writing all this was a pain in the ass, so I'm glad I don't have to write this again. But now we move on to chapter 5, the fortress. Making my way into the fortress, we finally get a new permanent weapon to use, the micro 9mm, or the Uzi, I guess. I usually prefer semi-auto, but I wanted to change it up a bit. But it didn't really matter here because once again, an enemy bum rushes me and I die. Doing it again, same process, but the guy almost gets me the same way. I kill the guys up top, but not without almost dying, especially to that grenade. Now it's a game of peekaboo waiting for the last guy to pop up, but he took so long, so I decided to go up instead. As I continue, the music tenses up, and then I get ambushed by all these pirates in the tunnel. Doing it again, I take out the men by the truck and the men up top. After the guards open up the gate and I grab the best weapon in the game, I try to take a few out before switching guns. I make my way inside and the man on the turn almost kills me with a bullet midair, but I manage to take cover just in time. I try to climb up the wall, but I wasn't in the right spot. Having no choice, I took a deep breath and hauled ass and he didn't fire a single shot at me. There is somebody above me, so I take him out before taking out the guy on the turret. And now comes my least favorite part of this game on Brutal mode. You already know I died here so many times. It was a pain in the ass, no matter what direction I take, even with the revolver. I gotta make my shots count and the enemies want to be too far to the left to shoot. And I don't have that much cover when they decide to split up and flank. I'm not gonna go over this over and over every time I died here. There's no point. I died a lot. I was pissed off. I was here for like a half hour dying at every corner. But I pulled through, finally beating chapter 5. The beginning part wasn't that bad, but because of how painful this part was, I'm ranking this in a brutal bullshit tier. I don't care. I was mad and I'm glad I don't have to do this again. But I'm getting ahead of myself because what's next isn't so pleasant. After leaving that godforsaken tomb, Drake checks his map and he is immediately shot at by 2 guys on the other side. You know it's fun when taking slight damage during a cutscene. I died a few times and while fighting back, I get third party by some dude up top, one-tapping me. 1 headshot to the dome, that's all it took. I was too busy with the other people to even remember them being up there. I hate that when this checkpoint restarts, you're in the middle of the open, exposed to gunfire. When I beat them, there's 2 guys up top that I can barely see, but yet they got a clear shot on me. You go slightly up the stairs, and then they'll pop up so quick you won't even see them coming. I stopped playing here and got back on a day later. As I load in and start fighting, one thing that always annoys me about this game with playing Uncharted 1 is that this game always crashes, even with the disc. So I reset the game, get back to fighting, and son of a bitch, it happened again. I don't know if I have to wait before continuing or something, but I did that and I was finally able to get back to the game. I tried to take them out, try to get upstairs again, and I hate that Drake is so slow in this game. When I do get back to that spot, I try to bait them and I'm able to actually put them down. But the guy on the right hand has the fastest hand in the West and he killed me, shattering my dreams. Countless attempts later, I tried to draw them out, picking them off one at a time, and made some progress to finally clear them out. After getting the key, I opened the door to get to the front of the fortress, and right here is also my least favorite part of the game on Brutal. I'm reminded that this game has a unique design of how we take damage in this game. Drake doesn't actually get shot. The bullets are shooting around him towards us, sort of like his luck meter. The greater the screen gets, the higher Drake's luck runs out, leading the last bullet being fatal, killing him. It's a cool design, but playing this on Brutal makes me hate it. I again decided to take a break and come back hours later. I got back to the fight and god damn it. Can somebody please fix this issue? Like, it's been like almost 10 years since this came out. I changed up my tactics and took cover behind a pillar beside the door, and it was working well until some asshole threw a grenade forcing me to move, then I got shot. I will always love Uncharted 3 for giving you the ability to throw back grenades. I take cover after taking too much damage, and do you see that right there? Where did that shot come from? Eventually, after clearing them out, I pick up a new weapon. Heading upstairs to the next part, I die shortly after, but when I did reset, I wanted to check behind that pillar again just to see how I got shot. I would never figure out how I got shot from above, because you saw the bullet go down, not to like the side. Anyway, I go back upstairs. These guys don't play. I run out of bullets and have to get a new weapon quickly before more of them show up. I continue on, and the game wants you to use a turn to kill the rest of the guys on the bottom, but after that turn glitch, I'm good. I make my way down, activating the cutscene. When it finishes, I knew there would be one guy opening the door, and when I try to shoot him, I don't know how, but whatever. Doing it again, I get him and make my way upstairs. I keep my aim up because I knew a couple guys are waiting for me, but the in-game cutscene interrupted me, giving them time to get a shot off me. Me using the micro wasn't cutting it, so I tried to get closer, shimmying my way on a side wall, which I've never done before. But it actually worked, killing all 3 of them, finally ending the chapter after saving and later from those 2 pirates below me. I would have ranked this in very annoying and time consuming, but considering how hard it was to get past certain parts, I'm honestly putting this on brutal bullshit tier. Leading up to and fighting through the forest was complete hell and is not even over yet, leaving the fortress with chapter 7. If you know, you know. I didn't even have a plan thought out. All I did was held the trigger button, kept firing, and never let go, which honestly got me past the first part, and that's never happened before. And I was generally shocked, and even when I was close to death, I was still alive firing. Like, I felt powerful, unstoppable. They all fell to my might. Nobody can stop me. No! So I die, but I kept doing the same thing I was doing before, keep shooting. But now they seem to have a good shot on me and I keep dying. But when I get to the next checkpoint, this is where it all comes crashing down. After we take this right turn, the death count picks up. I get shot the second after being in control. And no matter how many times I shoot them, there's always that one guy that gets that lucky shot on me. And I hate that they can perfectly shoot me behind an exploding vehicle. We're going to skip a lot of this because it took me a while like the other chapter. even when I was close to passing it. It took a while, but I eventually got past it, and it is godforsaken chapter 2. Without needing to explain, I'm also adding this one to the brutal bullshit tier. Having 3 in a row, these chapters don't mess around. So now, we move on to... We start chapter 8 swimming back to land, taking fire from up top. Luckily they're terrible shots, so I just ignored them. I did get hit once, but the shots are weaker, so I wasn't really in any danger. I was, however, ambushed by 4 of Eddie's men in the far left, and it was hard to shoot them because they would shoot at the same time, then they'll take cover at the same time. Then he want to throw almost a perfect grenade, but I wasn't moving. Like, bro, what am I supposed to do here? After I take them out, I change weapons ready for what's next to come, other to be taken out by the curse of siege angles. Wasn't nowhere in my sights, yet I still died. Second time, I play more aggressive, cause I'm not about to play peekaboo for 5 minutes. After I killed the first 2 on the left, it got quiet, but my spider sense tingled, and I looked to my right to see 2 guys by the gate, and I immediately rolled to the right. While in cover, I noticed Drake holding his gun to his head. How fitting. Moving on, I pick up the AK and I take out the last dude, but also notice Elena's aim. Like, Jesus, I get that she's new to this, but sheesh. I did swap out the revolver for the 9mm, just so I could have more bullets cause 4 won't last me long. After the cutscene, we hop on a jet ski. This part wasn't that bad. I shot the barrels long before so I don't accidentally drive into one. After we depart, the easy part was over and became a struggle. I take fire from across the bridge, move up and mag dump the 3 that rushed me, but the guy wasn't dying and just shot me after all of that. Doing it again, I barely had a chance to fight and the guy took me out easy. Third time, I shot the barrels, but damn! They were trying super hard here. Doing it again, I take proper cover, climbed up to get the grenade launcher, but 2 guys are below waiting for me, so I drop them as I move up. I get ambushed and there's somebody to my close right, and I did not expect them to be there, so I had to do this again. I go back to the same spot as before, take the 2 out, and try to activate the spawn so I can stay in cover. Then my dumbass blew myself up because of the camera position, which I don't think I have even addressed. The camera acts like a physical contact, so if I'm in a tight space while aiming, I won't be able to move like in the beginning of chapter 6. Going back to my last point, I grab the weapon and take cover a little bit further down so I don't accidentally blast myself. Now that I have less to deal with, I take out the remaining people, then stock up on ammo. I make my way to the outer walls, and as I climb to the other side, an enemy's waiting for me, but it's already too late. I die. I try to go again, but ended up falling. Great. But that's the end of chapter 8. Normal difficulty wise, it's a really short chapter. This went on for too long with a lot of hiccups, so with that, I'm putting chapter 8 on the very annoying and time consuming tier. We're back on a jet ski, and it's the same as the last chapter, but there's more enemies and barrels to shoot. I had to take my time because there was more close calls than before. Everyone's posted up, but at least they're easy to spot. I get off at the dock, and without any warning, I get rushed in by like 3 guys and they kill me. They really aren't the problem, it's the dudes on the other side of the water. I have no good angles to shoot and I'm just a sitting duck for most of it. And because of the overgrown weeds, I can't see them, yet they have a clear sight on me. I eventually cleared them out, no thanks to the environment, and the next part, over the gate, becomes the bane of my existence. You see the guy in the distance hiding behind cover, trying to be sneaky, but I see you. I jumped down and I died because the game would not let me take cover no matter how much I was spamming circle. I utilized my grenades, but not knowing what's around the corner is always scary. Low ammo count, not the best weapons, I'm doing bad out here. And sometimes my aim wants to be jacked and they always want to dodge my shots. On the other side, there's 3 enemies and I can barely shoot them because they keep moving and I got a shotgun. When I died, I was beyond pissed. They're acting like they got on Fleetfoot. Remember that? I try to wait for them to push me, but they won't change positions and won't stop shooting. I'll go back to get a different gun and just look at this. I got shot the moment I climbed up. The exact frame. Like literally the moment I pushed X, I got shot. Like you don't know how much this pissed me off. I was playing this at night and I wanted to scream, yell so loud, throw my controller to the TV, do something to let out this rage. But I just kept playing, and after dying a couple more times, I just stopped playing. I had to take a break, and when I came back, I was able to beat this part, but I accidentally forgot to record, but at least I still had the footage on the PS5, so I saved the footage there. I move on inside and I actually landed a brutal combo, for which I forgot after doing one, they drop a gun with double the ammo. And I was tempted to take it, but I wanted to keep the revolver. I slide down the rope to open the door, ending chapter 9. This one was hard to rank because I want to say this is a very high, very annoying and time consuming tier. But I also want to put this on brutal bullshit just because of how bad that last part was. You could say it's because of the weapons I had and just the bad cover altogether. But you know what? I'm gonna just keep it in the very annoying tier, just barely making out a brutal. Maybe if I had more ammo and better guns, I'll be fine, but this was this close to making it to the top. Okay, so that was the first part of the Brutal Talk Drake's Fortune. I don't feel like saying the whole title. Yeah, like the pre-talk video at the beginning, this took way longer than it should have. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep doing the parts for each game. So I stopped at chapter 10, and hopefully I don't need to do it again if I'm doing like another 10 chapters, but there's like 22 in total. So, there are some chapters where I don't have to talk or like, elaborate each scene. So hopefully the next part won't be the same situation as this one. But as I keep working on this, I'm learning new things on how to make this a lot easier. So while I'm working on part 2 and maybe 3, depending, I am still going to be working on Uncharted 2. I'm already playing the game. I'm making the tier list. The tier list is going to be the same. But, I'm just getting everything in order so that way when I actually start doing Uncharted 2, I already made some progress. So I don't have to start from the very beginning. This was definitely a time-consuming project, which actually I don't regret at all. I actually like doing this. It actually gives me something to do. But at the same time, goddamn, this is going to take a while. So I don't know when part 2 is going to come out. I'm not going to say it's going to come out in a couple weeks or whatever. It could be a month, could be 2. But I am going to put more time. I am going to try to make sure there's nothing wrong. It's not going to be a perfect video, but there's a learning curve. But yeah, the last thing is, like I said in the beginning of the video, or the actual video, if anyone knows any way to get the PS Vita or the PlayStation TV and how to record it, let me know, because I do want to include stuff with Golden Abyss. I don't know why they gotta make it so complicated. Like, why can't I just plug in a USB port and just go from there? But no, you need a special device just to even get gameplay. So, and I'm not gonna take someone else's gameplay, because if I need something specific, then I'll have everything that I need, and I don't want to just take someone else's, video, even if they'll allow people. It's just no, I don't want to do that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed part 1, and I'll see you on part 2.